Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to show you how to make these cute Valentine's Day themed cupcake toppers. I'm just going to show you firstly the Be Mine. Now I made these using Art Deco alphabet tappets by FMM, and I have a full tutorial on how to use the alphabet tappets on my YouTube channel, and I'll leave a link to that in the description and also links to the Art Deco tappets so you can take a look at them later. Okay, so before I began with my toppers, I coloured some white modelling paste pink and then cut out the discs and then left them to dry overnight, and then they were there ready for me to make my toppers on the next day. Okay, so firstly I'm going to show you how to make the red helium balloon, and I've just got some red modelling paste. I'm just going to roll it out to about 5mm thick. Now you want it quite thick so you can get your balloon shape. Here I'm just covering it with some cling film, and I'm just using a heart cutter just to press down. And now the cling film is going to create that nice rounded edge that we want for the balloon shape. So just take away the excess, slowly lift it up, and there you can see that curved edge there. And I'm just going to go around just neaten any rough edges at the bottom. Okay, and now I'm just going to use my Dresden tool just to come around and just score some crease marks like what you would normally see in a balloon. So just go all the way around. And after I've done that, I'm just taking a small piece of the red modelling paste and forming it into a really thin strip. And just so you know, I will leave a link to everything that I've used in this tutorial in the description so you can take a closer look later. Okay, so here you see I've formed it into a tube using my cake smoother to help me. You just make sure that it'll fit all the way around your heart shape. And now I'm just using a little bit of clear alcohol to help stick it in position, or you could use an edible glue if you prefer. And then just gently stick it all the way around the edge of your balloon. Trim to finish. Just using my Dresden tool there to help fix it into position, and then again go around, just making little indents and marks all the way around to make it look like the foil of a balloon. So I hope you can see that there. I'm just going to pick it up so you can see it better. There we go. And then that's it, just gently go around with my Dresden tool, just create little indents. If you think it gets too thick, just swap it the end around and just flatten it out a little bit. And then just go around making your little indents again. Okay, so I've just stuck that into position on the top of the pink disc. I wanted it to overlap a little bit. And then I've just got a tiny ball of the red paste, stuck it into my Dresden tool, kind of tapered it at one end, and I'm just going to stick it into the position there at the bottom for the bottom of the balloon. And there we go. So now I'm just using some black modelling paste and just forming that again into a thin strip. Start it off with my hands and then use my cake smoother just to get as thin as I'd like. And then again, just using my small brush and a little bit of clear alcohol to stick that into position. If you do find this tutorial useful, please do give it a thumbs up as it really helps my channel. And then I'm just going to add some clear alcohol to my black strip. So I'm using clear alcohol over glue because this evaporates and it doesn't leave any marks. When you're dealing with something so small as this, you could easily leave marks. So there we go. I'm just going to arrange that how I'd like it to be. A little bit of a wavy string for the balloon. Secure it as much as I can, and then once I'm happy with it, I'm just going to trim the edge off. And there we go. Okay, and that is your balloon cupcake topper made. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make the love letter. So now I've got some white modelling paste and I'm going to roll that out quite thinly. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a knife to cut out a rectangle. Now obviously if you're going to put this onto a disc, you want to make sure that you cut your rectangle out smaller than your disc. Or you could use a rectangle cutter or a square cutter and then just cut off the side, whatever you have. But I'm just doing it freehand and just straighten it off with my knife. Okay. So now I'm just going to use my knife just to gently score a diagonal line from the corner at the bottom to the middle of the top. Now you don't want to press too hard. You can see I'm just rocking it down, and this just gives you that nice mark for an envelope. And now I'm going to do the flap of the envelope. So I'm just going to make sure it's the same length of my rectangle that I made. And then I'm just going to make a rectangle about half the width of the first one I did. Check for size, make sure that's okay. And then mark where the middle is. And then again 2 diagonal cuts from the side to the middle. Okay, so I'm just checking that's okay before I use my heart plunger cutter just to cut out the top heart from the bottom of the flap there. So we're doing this so we can stick our heart into position and it's not going to have a bumpy edge where the flap of the envelope is higher than the rest of the envelope. So just a little bit of clear alcohol, stick that into position. And just so you know, I'll put a link to everything that I use in this tutorial in the description so you can have a closer look later. So now I'm just rolling out some red sugar paste using my heart plunger cutter. Make sure it has got no burred edges, push it and then it comes out. And then we can just easily stick that into position, and because we made that little heart cut out, it has a nice flat surface to stick onto. And there we go, and there it is stuck onto the disc. Okay, so that's the love letter made, and now we're going to make the bee. So firstly, I'm just going to show you what I used, and I've got some yellow modelling paste, and I coloured it yellow using Colour Mills yellow, and I've also got some black modelling paste. And just showing you the modelling paste which I used for all of the toppers. Okay, so take a small ball of the yellow modelling paste, and I just gently flatten with my hand. And then you can see here I'm just narrowing the top part. I'm making the bit on the right a little bit flatter where his chest will be. And now I'm just flattening the top there where the head will go. Okay. So now I've just got my bone tool and I'm just going to gently score in an indent where I'm going to put the black lines. So do it gently at first and then you can go around and make it deeper. So that's the first one, and I'm just going to do the second one. Okay. So once I've done that, I've just got 2 balls of black modelling paste that I'm just going to roll into tube in the palm of my hand there. Make sure it fits in the groove that we've made, and then just do the other one. Okay. Then I'm just going to pop them into the grooves. I didn't need to stick them. You might need a little bit of glue if you think it's popping out, but mine were okay. So I just put them in the grooves, trim to size, and then just gently press just to make them have a nice snug fit. So now I'm just using my Dresden tool to create a little indent at the back there where we're going to stick the stinger. Okay, so now I'm just going to have a small ball of black modelling paste. I'm just going to form into a little triangular shape for the stinger. Just flatten the bottom there. Firstly, stick the body into position and then stick the stinger into position. You might just have to wait a little while for the body to firmly stick. And then you can just shape that stinger how you like. I curved it upwards. Okay. So now we're going to create the fur texture, and I'm using my Dresden tool to do so. And I'm just going along creating little sharp indents into the modelling paste. Now as I go around the black, I am pulling the black down, so I'm getting a nice curved black line, which gives you more 3D effect. And really you can't do this too much. I find this quite therapeutic. I just do it for ages, just keep going over it and over it, and the more you do, the more fur-like it looks. So you want to go over the whole of the body, including the top part where the head will go. So there we go. So now we're going to make the wings, and I've got 4 balls of white modelling paste, 2 a little bit bigger than the other. I'm just going to form them into little tear shapes. So they're the bigger tear shapes and these are the smaller ones. There we go. And I'm just going to get a small rolling pin and I'm just going to roll them out. So long ways first and then width ways. And that's the first one done. So I'm going to do the next one. So you want them to be roughly the same size and the same shape. So now I'm going to stick those two wings into position. I'm just checking for size and where they're going to go. So I need to trim a little bit off the side of each one just so it'll fit snugly underneath the body. So I've just trimmed that one. And now I'm going to do the same with the other one. Okay. So once I'm happy with that, just a little bit of clear alcohol and just stick those into position. And now we're going to do the bigger wings. So exactly the same way, but just making them a little bit bigger. Just checking that for size. And then the same with the other one. So you can see here they fit over the top of the other wings, so they overlap a little bit. And we're just going to stick them into position. I don't stick the edges, and that's because I wanted to lift the edges up a little bit to give a little bit of movement. Okay, so now I'm just using my Dresden tool just to score a little line in the middle of each wing. And there we go. And now I've just got my dry brush and I'm just lifting the ends a little bit just to give a little bit of movement. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. But I thought I'd just give a little bit of movement to the wings. Okay. So now I'm just using my Dresden tool just to do a little bit more veining on the wings so they look a little bit more like leaves really. Okay, so now I've got a small ball of yellow modelling paste for the head. You check for size, flatten it and then check for size again. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to stick that into position. I didn't need anything to help it stick, but you could always use a little edible glue if you have to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straighten the edge there a little bit, just for the side of the face. I mean, you can shape it how you want. Okay, so now I'm going to create the smile using my veining tool. It's got a little curved edge there. So I'm just going to press down and create my little smile. So kind of on the angle to the side there. And then I'm just using my scriber tool just to make a little bit of a dot or an indent where the nose will go, just to mark where the nose will go. And now I'm just using a little bit of clear alcohol just to pop a small ball of black modelling paste into that hole. Now you can keep it a circle, or you can use a little modelling tool just to shape it like I did into a little bit of a triangular shape. So now I'm just using my Dresden tool just to further shape around the side of the face there, underneath where the chin is. Okay, so now I'm going to make the eyes, and I've got a teeny tiny amount of black modelling paste. I'm just rolling on the palm of my hand there, letting it taper at both ends. Just going to do that with two of them to make sure they're the same size. A little bit of clear alcohol where they want to be, and then use your brush to pick them up and pop them into position. Okay, so now you can use a dry brush just to help shape how you want your eyes to be. So I'm curving them at both ends. It might help to make sure they're stuck down in the middle before trying to curve it down. And now I'm just using my brush and my Dresden tool just to gently flick the end up so it's like a little eyelash. Again, you don't have to do this, it is very fiddly, but I think it looks quite effective. So now I've got another tiny piece of black modelling paste. I've rolled it out in the same way. And I'm just going to pop that into the little curved indent that we made for the mouth. So just using a dry brush again to shape. And there we go. So now I'm just going to add some extra eyelashes by rolling out some black modelling paste the same way as before. And then I'm just going to cut off those tapered ends. And they're going to be the eyelashes. Again, you don't need to do this if you don't want to. It is very, very fiddly, but does look very, very good. So apply a little bit of clear alcohol, gently pick up your little end you've cut off there, and then you can just stick that down and shape with the brush. Okay, so that's the first one done, and now I'm going to do the same with the second one. The hardest bit is to get them even. Okay, So now I'm using my Dresden tool again just to mark 2 holes, or make 2 holes where the antennas are going to go. Hope you can see that there. And now again I'm using 2 small balls of black modelling paste, which I'm just going to roll in the palm of my hand to make a little tapered shape there. And these are the antennas, so make sure they're the same size. And then just pop them to one side to firm up. And while they're firming up, we're just going to add a little bit of pink blush to the cheeks. So this is edible dust. So just put it onto your kitchen towel, blot off the excess with your brush, and then just gently pop it onto the cheeks. And there we go. So now we're going to make some little arms with just a little small ball of black modelling paste and just roll it on the palm of my hand there for a little arm. And then I'm just going to stick that into position. So at the side, and then I'll just come around. So just stick from the side there, not at the top, because you want that kind of just to protrude out a little bit. Just securing that with my Dresden tool. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other arm, making sure that they're the same size. Okay. So pop it into position. Secure with my Dresden tool. And then just give it a little bit of shape. Hope you can see that there. So now I thought I'd make some little eyebrows with some dark brown modelling paste, just tiny amounts again, and just rolling it on the palm of my hand. This time I'm not trying to taper it at both ends, and I'm just going to stick that into position above the eyes. Again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You want to try and make them the same size. So use your brush to pick it up, and then you can just shape how you'd like it to be with a dry brush. So once they're stuck into position, you're able to manipulate the shape of them. Okay, there we go. So now just adding a little bit of clear alcohol into those holes we made earlier, and we're just going to pop in those antennas, which are now firmed up a little bit. So that was a little bit longer, so just need to trim that a little bit. So just pop them in, and then you can bend them like I did if you like, just to give them a little bit of shape, or you could leave them just sticking out straight. Okay, and there we go. So lastly, I decided to add a little heart, and I did this with my heart plunger cutter the same way I used for the envelope. And I've just rolled out a little bit of red sugar paste, used my heart plunger cutter, and then I'm just going to stick that into position between the hands so it looks like he's holding the heart. And there we go. That is your bee made. I really hope that you enjoyed these tutorials. Please don't forget to check out my other ones. Please comment, like and subscribe for more, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.